Memo.
I went to Zhengzhou to look for a job and ended up being scammed. The person told me that their company was under a state-owned enterprise, and you know, right? When I heard that, I thought it was amazing, a state-owned company. I said I needed to take a look since there's a big lake nearby. So, they work with yacht rentals, and the job I would have to do was basically to stand by the yacht, presenting how incredible our company is, how wonderful the yachts are, how many there are, welcoming clients, and negotiating, you know? Basically a presenter role. At first, they told me it would be a regular presenter job, but in the end, I realized there was another purpose behind it. Do you know what I mean? Because the people who rent yachts are usually those with a lot of money, like big sponsors, you know? They spoke very indirectly, saying that I would probably need to cater a bit to the male aesthetic, very subtly. So I asked, why didn't you just tell me to wear black stockings? Or wear something cooler, why not be straightforward? Why waste time? Then they also said that if a client wanted to discuss business with you, you'd have to work extra hours offline and stuff like that. Then, all of a sudden, it became clear that the job wasn't serious at all, so I stopped talking to them. In my mind, Zhengzhou has always been a more conservative city, and I didn't imagine the job would be like this. The curious thing is that I had a friend who recommended this job to me, and she still works in this field today. You know, I keep thinking about everything she might have done, things I can't even imagine. Today, I stopped talking to her. A brother asked me, is it possible to marry a yacht girl? What is a yacht girl? Let's clarify that. Yacht girls are quite similar to the nightlife stars, those who shine at luxury parties and events. Normally, people in this circle don't tend to marry each other, unless the unspoken rules governing this world are broken. And yes, these rules exist, and anyone entering this realm needs to know them well. If you choose to be a yacht girl, you'll have to submit to this reality and often experience things that aren't exactly admired by society. You will associate with powerful individuals who decide your fate. Many yacht girls are pressured not to return home at night and end up spending their nights on yachts, far from any normal routine. The truth is, while some may seem to be earning fortunes, who wouldn't want to receive tens of thousands of dollars in a single night, the reality is much darker. These sponsors often install surveillance cameras on the yachts, monitoring every movement, every conversation, turning these women into mere images in a film they didn't choose to act in. Everything is recorded, everything is filmed, and the yacht girl lives under constant surveillance, unaware that her privacy has been violated. And what happens when you try to escape this world? What happens when you want to seek a normal life, but the past always comes back to haunt you? The consequences are heavy. This cycle can leave you trapped in a game where freedom and true happiness seem unattainable. So, I ask you, would you still have the courage to become a yacht girl? And more importantly, do you really see yourself marrying a yacht girl? This decision is not just about love, it's about accepting a lifestyle filled with shadows and uncertainties. The glamour that appears attractive on the surface hides a reality that many prefer to ignore. It's crucial to reflect before diving into a world where superficiality and exploitation can be the norm.
Many things have been tainted. Do you remember a time when everyone was renting yachts to take various girls to Hainan? Actually, we used to go to Hainan frequently all together because renting a yacht was very cheap. There were a few of us girls and we had fun taking photos, drinking, dancing on the boat, and everything else. It was a lot of fun. So one day I posted some photos on my friend circle. Then a friend of an ex-boyfriend of mine messaged me. The first thing he said was, I don't know which big brother took you guys, but if I were you, I'd delete those photos because it gives a very bad impression. At that moment, I didn't understand what he was talking about, so I went to look at the photos and thought, who is this guy? He then sent me a photo of us on the yacht. I said it was just us girls. He replied, oh, do you think girls spend their own money to go out like that? I thought, have you been fooled many times, huh? And the most awkward part is that there were 4 girls, and that trip was to celebrate a friend's birthday, who had a very close friend who was a guy. We ended up posting on the friend circle, and many people commented about that friend, saying he was supporting us and taking us out, as if it wasn't a serious job. Now, if you're a girl and post photos having fun, traveling, and everything else, people automatically think you're a prostitute. Those comments were along the lines of, how much does it cost to take you skiing in Altai? I asked, are you planning a trip? He wasn't. He was just insinuating that he wanted to take me, saying we would go by private jet. I said I didn't need it. I always paid for my own trips. Then he said, "Oh, but you can pay, right? You can afford a private jet." I replied, "What a coincidence, I can." I said it wasn't just the man I slept with who had money, maybe my mom does too. That was that. Of course, I was just speaking out of anger, but if I wanted a rich man to support me, I wouldn't choose you. Are you crazy? It's incredible how some women who claim to be empowered discredit the real empowered women. Because of other girls without character, you can't post a photo on a yacht that you earned through your own efforts without these people thinking you're a woman without principles who does everything for money.
I've seen what strange parties of wealthy people are like. Can you believe that those wearing swimsuits aren't going swimming? A friend of mine, who works in the yacht business, was in Beijing planning one of those private dinners. All the guests were billionaires, and he asked me to help check if there were any issues with the event planning. There were two details that really impressed me regarding how extravagant the world of the rich is, which truly challenged my perception. The content is a bit sensitive and might be removed, so first, save and follow. The first detail is that after getting off the plane, the driver's first stop isn't the hotel to drop off luggage but one of Beijing's top luxury stores, and each person has a spending limit of 500,000. I asked if these rich people really loved shopping like that. They didn't even stop to drop off their luggage, they went straight to shopping. He replied that these people leave home without baggage. Some personal items they have assistants handle, and they go to the mall to buy a few change of clothes. I asked if they send those clothes back afterward. He said, "Fan, don't you also wear designer clothes? Look at how many of them have labels saying they can't be washed or dry cleaned. The difference is that you end up washing them and wearing them again. And these people don't need to buy warm clothes because their lives are always in private transport. Wherever they go, they are driven in cars. Go to SKP and see those people with Hermes bags and haute couture clothes. None of them go down to the basement, the drivers wait for them at the doors of the luxury cars." The second detail is the swimsuit party. I received a friendly reminder. Please bring your own swimsuit. I was completely confused. Isn't it a swimsuit party? Why do I need to bring my own? Then my friend explained to me that most designer swimsuits are more for fashion than for swimming. You can look and see that many have warnings not to be used in the water. In the end, I didn't suggest anything and still got looked down upon. Now, let's talk about the yacht girls who are hired for these events. These women, often seen as symbols of glamour, face a harsh reality behind the shiny facade. They may be attractive, but the truth is that many of the wealthy men who hire them have no romantic interest in them. What they seek is just fleeting fun. These women find themselves in a cycle of superficiality, where validation comes from the ephemeral attention of men who see them merely as objects of pleasure, not as partners. And this life comes at a price. What seems like a dream to many can turn into a silent nightmare. Many yacht girls eventually realize that, despite the luxurious life they lead, they are losing something fundamental: genuine happiness. They go through situations that expose them to unattainable beauty standards and unrealistic expectations, which can lead to self-esteem issues and mental health problems. Deep down, they may feel more isolated than ever, surrounded by wealth but devoid of true love and meaningful connections. This is the true face of millionaire parties. The consumption and pursuit of pleasure really aim to build networks, but these women often find themselves on the sidelines. When you understand this, you see where the money is. And you'll realize that making money isn't that hard. Many opportunities are right in front of you, they just need a little push. So instead of getting swept away by superficiality and glamour, we should learn from the money-making mindset of the rich and, more importantly, keep our relationships based on authenticity and respect. These parties are just the surface of a complex world that deserves deeper analysis. And just like these women, we should seek a balance that leads us to true happiness and fulfillment.
有些兄弟问游艇宝贝儿能不能
Some brothers ask about yacht girls, whether they can bring one home and marry her. Let's be honest, it has to be you, right? These guys are always thinking about bringing something home. So, for those who don't know, let's explain what a yacht girl is. It's a girl who's at the beach, as the name suggests. If you rent a yacht, these girls are there to serve you, for example, wearing bikinis, playing music, dancing with you, doing whatever it takes to make you happy. Some yacht girls start serving you as soon as you step on the yacht. Wherever you go, they're there to accompany you. The service is always top-notch. And these jobs? If you think they're a bit dubious, in a way they are, but if you want to look at the positive side, they're always busy serving you. They can be described as your local assistants during the trip, making sure you have a good time. These yacht girls usually have side jobs. They can't always be on the yacht, especially in the high season when they earn more, and in the low season they have to settle for less. Some brothers must wonder if you meet a yacht girl and there's chemistry, you can spend the night with her. If you're asking yourself that, I can tell you that if the connection is right, you might get along, but the prerequisite is that you have some kind of superpower. Got it? Moreover, some brothers ask if these yacht girls, who are so beautiful, can be taken home to become wives. If you want to marry this type of girl, you first need to weigh the pros and cons. The advantages of these girls are generally their looks, bodies, and ability to communicate, offering quality emotional value. They have an exceptional talent for picking up on men's emotions and desires, and they usually have good alcohol tolerance, helping you dodge some drinks at parties and holidays. However, you should also be psychologically prepared to accept that she will receive compliments from various men every day, that she may earn more than you and spend money freely, and that you need to get used to a luxurious lifestyle. You should ask yourself if, after marrying her, you'll be able to convince her to settle down and be more grounded. To be objective, yacht girls, the poor can't marry the rich and the rich aren't willing to marry. If you're stubborn, remember that.
Boarding the boat with confidence, disembarking limping. First, watch the video. Looking at your disappearing figure, I can't hold you back. Slowly, I begin to understand. The beauty must be seasick, right? Did her legs give out? I imagine it must have been very tiring, but this trip must have earned a lot of money, right? At this moment, I just want to recite a poem, ha ha ha. When boarding the boat, one doesn't think about those left on shore. When disembarking, one doesn't mention what happened on the water. The old ones don't know my current situation. The new ones don't know my past. Heroes don't ask where you came from. Beautiful women don't ask about the past, only about money.
In the end, what is the destiny of the girls who work on yachts? Women who live in this environment face serious difficulties as they age. Don't be fooled by the fact that they may be earning well now. Their lives are more complex than they seem. Most yacht girls reach their 30s, and due to a decline in health and immunity, they begin to face frequent problems. If they don't get married by the age of 35, it will be very difficult for them to find a partner throughout their lives. Moreover, many of these girls become captives of their choices. Even if they want to lead this life, the photos and videos of them are in someone's hands, and everything they did on the yacht was recorded. They are literally trapped on a boat with no way out, and they don't have many places to escape. It's sad, but it was their choice. As we all know, both in the West and the East, that what happens on the yachts of extremely rich people is not limited to mere outings. Therefore, those who live this way will ultimately have to pay for it, sooner or later. Beyond yacht girls, those who get involved with married men are even more unhappy. They may dress elegantly and attractively, but if you pass by them, you'll notice an unpleasant odor, making it hard to get close. These women resemble contaminated rats, ultimately dying in a corner with no one to care. It's the law of return, right? The lazier they were in their youth, the more miserable they become in old age. Therefore, as a woman, you can be heartless, but you shouldn't be promiscuous. You can love intensely, but you shouldn't destroy. Some women fall in love with married men and can't break free. Others get involved with committed men. What should they do? Such women seem to have a built-in system of misfortune. They can't resist momentary pleasures and end up being looked down upon. So, my friends, if you wanted to get rich, stay away from yacht girls, keep your distance from those who intentionally ruin homes, and from those who betray you. Recently, I read a comment from a viewer that makes perfect sense. A woman only matures when men stop buying her drinks. And that's true. Men will continue to buy drinks and flatter her as long as she is beautiful and young. However, they start to realize the poor choices they've made when men stop paying for them. At that moment, reality hits, and they understand that youth is not permanent. And so the cycle continues. Young women repeat the same mistakes, taking the place of the previous ones. This is a harsh truth, but it is the pure reality of the modern societal cycle. I want to know your opinion on this dilemma. Do you have any relevant thoughts that could spark engaging discussions in the comments? I'm looking forward to seeing your perspective. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video.